So many years ago, when I worked with the Campbellton Tribune, we had a regular column called 2 Cents Worth, and I severely doubt that the Irvings who bought the Campbellton Tribune will hit me for copyright infringement if I use this as kind of a representative of my editorials that are not, entertainment or sports or, whatever. So this is the first 2 cents worth, and we're going to talk about the rise or the rebirth of Peter McKay. Now, a lot of people in the States haven't been following the Canadian political scene. Peter McKay was the last true leader of what was the Progressive Conservative Party of Canada. Obviously, the PCs are still existent on the provincial level, but Peter McKay was the young gun that came in as an MP as a youngster. I think he was only 30 or 35. He drew a lot of attention, and a lot of people felt he was going to be the next Prime Minister of Canada, but because of factors would emerge of the alliance and the reform and the PCs into the big entity that led to Stephen Harper being Prime Minister for a decade, Peter McKay eventually left federal politics and went back to his native Nova Scotia, took care of his personal and business interests, and remained kind of on the scene in the background. Now, the reason why Peter McKay has been talked about in the last number of months is that when Andrew Scheer, to a lot of conservative followers, lost the last provincial election, federal election to Justin Trudeau via minority government, Peter McKay said publicly that Scheer losing the prime minister role was like a guy missing an open net on a breakaway. And to a lot of people, what he said was true. Now, Peter McKay, he'd be best described as sort of a charismatic and a very handsome and personable representative of the progressive conservatives in Canada. He's a red Tory. He has very little to do with what's considered a straight conservative rhetoric that you're seeing a lot in North America and worldwide. He served numerous strong portfolios in the Harper government, including Attorney General, including defense, which is a very big portfolio in Canada. Now the big question is, with the leadership convention coming up, Peter McKay has put his hat in the ring, Aaron O'Toole and a few others. But as it stands right now, unless Peter McKay gets hit by lightning the day before the convention or the day before it starts, there's no way he's going to lose the leadership of the Conservative Party, unless some miracle candidate, emblazoned by the blue god that wants to rise up across Canada, maybe a darling of the UCP or the Wexit or whatever. But like as it stands right now, he's going to win the leadership. Now from there, will he beat Justin Trudeau in a showdown for Prime Minister of Canada? All signs point to yes. Justin Trudeau was very lucky to win a second term. A lot of the red Tories that would have supported the Conservatives didn't vote for Scheer. They went NDP, they went Green, they went, especially in the Maritimes, like the big victory in Frankton for the Greens. It's a direct result of the fact red Tories had no place to go besides the Greens and the NDP. They weren't going to vote for the Liberals across New Brunswick because this is there's some strong partisanship towards the old-fashioned national and provincial PC that has, drawn a lot of attention. Now, Peter McKay has had some scandal in the past. He's had some romantic entanglements, Stronach sort of situations. He's not a perfect candidate. But I tell you something, in the two occasions I met Peter McKay, I can tell you I've met Jean Chrétien, I met Kim Campbell, I've covered these people, I met Andrew Scheer, I met Peter McKay. He comes across as a lifetime politician, but he can get the job done. It's palpable for many Liberals across Canada, especially Ontario, Quebec, and the Maritimes, to vote for Peter McKay. There's no way that Peter McKay is not going to get votes in the Maritimes. To have Justin Trudeau throw an Eastern shutout in not this past election, but when he won the majority, was kind of embarrassing for the Conservatives and the PCs, because as you know, there's been a lot of strong PC MLAs and MPs that have been voted in the Maritimes, including Peter McKay, since the debacle of the Mulroney years when Campbell took over and we're down to 2 seats, and what happened in New Brunswick with the destruction of the NBPCs because of Hatfield staying too long. So we are almost the 1st of February. 2020, new decade, new era. I predict within 18 months, Peter McKay will be Prime Minister of Canada. Unless, like I said, like in sports, anything's possible. Somebody could get injured. There could be a scandal, whatever. But you look the other people that dropped out. The Mulroney brother and sister team, not Ben, of course, and me talked, but the other Mulroneys, they're not running. Rona Ambrose, who a lot of people think could have bet Trudeau in the last election, has not put her name in. Jean Charest, who's in the midst of that Quebec scandal right now, but is a well-respected politician, another guy I've met and I have great respect for. And you know what's kind of funny? Most of the political leaders that I'm talking about, I've met, and I knew right away that when I met Andrew Scheer in Ackwick, New Brunswick, 18 months ago, I knew he was not going to be Prime Minister. It's too bad because Andrew Scheer has a lot of good supporters, good support, but he basically is so inflexible and is conservative in religious leanings regarding same-sex, regarding Quebec, regarding gays and stuff like that. To be a politician, you have to be completely flexible. When I was asked to chair the Shallure LSD up North Shore, I wasn't directly from the majority of the communities that were represented in my local service district. Gravel Hill was 10-15 miles away from Benjamin River, New Mills, and those areas, the key ones, Blacklands, but I worked for the whole region, and I had to because that's what the people wanted. And Andrew Scheer didn't want to listen to all the Conservatives, and he rejected the Red Tory and PC voting bloc, which in some cases in previous elections, especially with Mulroney, represented 20% of the electorate. Now, unless, like I said, the Wexit Party, which will be running the federal vote, will be a factor, McKay could easily get the 200-seat range, 180 to 200. The last election, there was a lot of seats that Scheer was capable of winning, but again, he's not a Red Tory, he's not a PC, he wasn't reaching out to the PCs. If he would have said to all the PC parties across Canada, provincial, let's make a united Conservative front, but he didn't want to. So again, if anybody wants to leave a comment or react to it, please do so. I like your any comments on my podcast channel, but make it polite. I don't know everything about politics, but I've covered it for 37 years. I know a little bit. You dance with the one that brung you. That's an old country song there, right? And Peter McKay, a good maritime candidate, nice looking, personable, intelligent. He can get things done. All the age groups look up to him. He can win. He's the best bet. Now, like I said, he has these flaws, but everybody has flaws. 2020, Peter McKay, maybe 20 years ago, he was just ahead of the time. Maybe his time is now. Would that be a nice thing to say? His time is now. And excuse me. By the way, the McKay logo with the three M's with the Canada flag, genius. I just want to say that from a graphic standpoint, that's a genius move. Anyway, again, we're going to tell everybody to have a good start to February. Happy Valentine's coming up to all the lovers out there. Super Bowl this weekend, Oscar in a week. Just had Royal Rumble, a lot going on. Again, have a good time. But if you disagree with what I'm saying, that's your opinion, let me know. But make the comments honest and unnegative, because I will block you if you try to bully me, because I don't put up with that crap. I don't bully anybody, and I don't expect to be bullied, because bullies are idiots, and I've dealt with bullies all my life, and they're not around me all the time because that's who we were. Anyway, have a good day.